Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. Welcome back to the solo experience. Today I present to you a very simple yet very effective red mage strategy, using your kit to burst targets into using Gaurd, the perfect setup for today's strategy, in which you use Phantom Dart combined with the red mage's melee rotation. These attacks already ignore the effect of Gaurd, which will then receive a 25% damage boost thanks to the effect of Phantom Dart. This can be boosted further with the activation of Embolden for another 8%, all of which will continually scale as you grow in Battle High. My first attempt at this combo landed 14 kills, 49 assists for 1.7 million damage. Thank you all for the continued support. Enjoy today's video, and I shall see you all in the next one. As already mentioned, my plan is simple. I want to use my ranged abilities to force out singled out targets into using Gaurd. This same strat shreds through tanks as your battle high increases, and can be taken even further when playing as a group. Picture another 25% damage boost from a machinist giving you bravery, for instance, and is not as dangerous as it might sound. Not only do your melee actions ignore enemy guards, they also grant you yourself shielding. Now throw Forte on top for another 50% damage reduction, and you turn the red mage into a mini tank with souped up DPS damage. And this first fight could not have been more perfect, with the Immortals making the mistake of cliff jumping. In this situation, do not hold back. You and the entire team should dive right onto those early jumpers. You have the advantage, you want to keep it. And this works particularly well in those early fights, as you are not dealing with targets who have battle highs for extra healing and damage. What you are doing is giving yourself moments of having a battle high too. 2 tanks and melee from the get-go is not too crazy. 2 other range classes, however, you can drop them within moments. And we all know with the mentality of 90% of the players, those first battles can very easily decide the entire round. Now try not to get too aggressive. If you are caught out alone, CC spam is still able to shut you down. If the enemy turn and flee, however, that is a different story. You chase and you burn down those extra kills. This first battle alone, I have already obtained a battle high too. Also keep in mind, Phantom Dart increases the damage that target takes by 25% for 5 seconds, meaning sometimes it is worth throwing Dart onto a target when both allies or the third team is around. Very useful in shutting down battle highs. If you want to get extra crazy with the burst damage, your displacement increases the next spell damage by 15%. This also follows up nicely from the melee rotation, helping to secure KOs on tankier rolls. You want to play this strat similar to playing the ninja. You hold back and poke, and when the time is right, you dive in with the finish. With the large ice now secure, my team is off to the best possible start. One fact about Shatter is there are always ice lickers, so if you have won the battle for the ice, with no way for the enemy team to push again, you are now free to move in. Leave the PvE players behind to finish up. You will notice I throw out my limit break. 2 reasons: 1, to steal potential kills, and secondly, to scare away the Maelstrom. The less battle high they have, the easier the match overall. This also created enough space for the blue team to move in, giving me the chance to engage from the side. Again, play to bait, with so many either focused on the ice or blue, you can use your movement to dash in and out, tagging players. You're aiming to coax the deer into the main road, while both you and your convoy are waiting. Right as this pinch kicks off, regardless of my low MP, that is the ideal time to dive in. There are distractions everywhere. Pick a target, get in, do your thing, and fall back. The red mage's strength lies in the fact you are both ranged and melee, which is why so many struggle with the role. I can go into countless games where red mages never utilize their melee rotation. Right now, I'm taking that extra time to build battle highs. Even outnumbered, their lack of coordination means they are little threat. Slowly keep moving back while engaging, to bait targets ever closer to your allies. Majority of my team have red trapped within the choke, so right now I'm free to make such plays. Knowing firsthand how tanky a Viper is, I waste no time using my limit break. That combined with the team's follow-up, there is no chance he escapes. Now look at my team. Not only are we 300 points ahead, everyone on my team has varying degrees of battle high, and this is the good thing about the new battle high system. Teams that are willing to fight will earn battle highs much faster, whether you are a solo or a pre-made. The new system has fixed the snowball effect of one team dominating an entire match. as now you can very quickly build battle highs as a team once more. It now punishes players who are only here for XP. Placing more focus on the PvP element of PvP once more means late games become far more punishing, as both enemy teams will have varying amounts of battle high. Now this strat works beautifully on Shatter. Seal Rock is also great, as those matches tend to be far more brawly. On Onslaught and Secure this strat still works, only you need to play far more defensively in the mid zones. With the Immortals now moving in, I can demonstrate the power of a Red Mage with a full battle high. At this stage, I do not need to be the one making the opening plays. What you want are low targets. Again, prioritize the ranged targets first, as they are the easier to kill roles. Spending too much time jumping between tanks? If they do not get KO'd, slowly the advantage turns to the enemy team, as your team will burn through all their burst and crowd control effects. Enemy tanks are then able to continually push forward with their team. However, tanks and midi both need team follow-up. If you eliminate their back row, their pushes greatly weaken, and a tank player with no backline is very quickly overwhelmed. So use your kit to its full potential, sometimes going for those riskier dives to finish off important targets. And if you make a play where you get KO'd, while at the same time taking enemies and dealing some good amount of damage, chances are your team will still win the fight, and you will earn your battle high back then and there through the assists. You will also notice from time to time when I engage that I like to do a handful of damage and guard up, but only for a brief moment. This is from my experience when diving ahead. Your main worry will not be damage, it will always be crowd control. So if you spot players near your target that have CC abilities, they are the players that you want to be looking at while fighting your target. And if you can predict when you think the CC is coming your way, turning on guard for a moment will allow you to avoid and get right back into the fight. This does take time and practice, and always comes with a risk since you give up guard. But at the same time, guard on range roll serves little purpose, as holding your guard up can cause you to be left behind. In fact, you are more likely to be targeted, which makes good positioning and a tactical use of guard better within frontline. For crystalline conflict, you will still want to be more reserved when using guard, as the damage and pace are very different. Now I shall leave the voiceover here as we are halfway through this game, and the strat from here on is the same. As my team has such a dominant lead, we are able to simply walk through both enemy teams. Things do get more intense, however the importance of a strong start shines through, as building all of those early battle highs my team became just unstoppable. In fact, it took 3 synchronized monk players to finally take me down. So give the Red Mage Phantom Dart a try, it is great fun. That also has so much combo potential. Combo down below any strategies you would like me to try. Enjoy the remainder of this match, and I will see you all in the next one.